Now, from the studios of Into Tomorrow in Miami, this is ITTV.
Our next guest is with a pioneer in smart lighting and electrical control and is launching a new line of Nokia smart lighting products. He is the chairman and CEO of Smartlabs, Rob Lilleness. Rob, welcome Into Tomorrow. How are you, sir?
Great. Thanks very much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. Where are you joining us from?
The beautiful Seattle, Washington.
Ah, very fine. So almost the diagonal opposite from where we are in Miami. So the other end of the country in every sense of the word. So glad to have you with us, and thanks for spending a couple of minutes with us. Tell me first a little bit about Smartlabs, since you're the chairman and CEO of that company, and then let's get into the new stuff to talk about.
Yes, Smartlabs was really one of the first producers of smart lighting and electrical control. And so we're a pioneer in the space. And because of that, we have developed over 50 patents in smart lighting and electrical control.
Nice.
To deliver the most robust, performant product on the market today.
Well, then, and that sounds obviously like a good lead-in to what the new Nokia smart lighting products are. So, first of all, what makes lighting smart?
Well, lighting's evolved. Like, there's multiple categories. If you look at smart home, we have smart locks, smart thermostats, and the market has shifted from dumb or standard products to smart products. One major category that has yet to shift is lighting, because it's been incredibly complex and incredibly expensive. So there are smart lighting. You can have smart lighting products today, but a smart light switch could cost you $200 or $250.
Whoa.
So it's very expensive, and we solve that problem.
Good. So I was going to say that becomes the issue. We talk a lot. In fact, we give away a lot of Wi-Fi light bulbs and things of that nature that people say, oh, that now I'm finally becoming a bit of a smart home with some of these things. But you're right. When we've talked about switches, they've generally been way too expensive. And people say, well, what's the point? Let me just put a smart bulb in if I can use one of those in whatever room I'm dealing with. So how was it that you were able to get the cost of switches to be more affordable then?
Well, what we have done is really focus on mass market consumer components that go into our light switches. So that way it's in a way, it's like Henry Ford. You can have any color of car you want as long as it's black.
Yeah.
So we've really focused on, instead of, some of the smart lighting you see today looks like something out of Star Trek. We've designed products, well, I'll show you, that look very like standard products that you would see. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's a standard paddle switch, beautiful, clean design, as opposed to, you've seen some smart switches with flashing lights and blue and some green. This is really a mass market product.
Cool. Now, of course, if you're like me and you're a tech geek, you like to see an occasional LED or something, it just kind of gives you the warm fuzzies, but that's not what it's about. If you're talking about replacing a standard switch like the one you just showed us, and for those listening on the radio, as always, you can come and visit intotomorrow.com and you'll see the interview with Rob and see what he's showing in addition to the video that we're adding while he's talking about it. A lot of times it is a matter of, I want it to look like it did, only be smart now and give me some flexibility. I'm assuming same sort of thing with dimmers. You've got those little round dimmer type switches as well?
We have a beautiful dial switch. We have also a keypad. So what's so incredible about the keypad is it can be customized. So one of your listeners can go online, select, maybe they want living room, dining room, kitchen, or low, medium, high. They snap that out. They get the custom etching. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now we can. Your camera focused on it somewhat.
And then snap that in. And they have a incredibly high-end switch, and for a fraction of what you would pay with other vendors in the marketplace.
Sure, and now it's labeled, which is very helpful too. So anybody, even a visitor come in, doesn't have to say, well, what button do I push to turn that on? It's labeled.
Exactly.
Just hit the button.
Very good point. So Dave, we focus to make smart lighting also simple. So smart lighting in the past has been complex. People can't figure out how to work with their lighting system. And so what we've done is really focus on the mass market. So if you want to control your lights via voice, whether it's Google or Amazon, or you want to just control it via the phone or via touch, it's all very simple. So if you have a guest over or an Airbnb, they'll know how to work the lights.
And of course, that was going to be one of my next questions is, can we use I always use air quotes, smart speakers to dim the lights with the Nokia Smartlabs devices? And apparently we can. And it doesn't have to be just one or the other. It's the two major ones. And that's what counts, because a lot of folks have got one or the other in their homes these days.
Absolutely. We've really focused on making sure that we interoperate with what consumers have in their home. That's really important because consumers want to make sure it works with what they have, and also maybe what they have in the future. So our system really puts the intelligence in the cloud. So in the future, let's say energy management services. So there are companies that will pay you for using less electricity during high usage periods. We can easily turn that on in our smart lighting system should the consumer want to opt into something like that.
Yeah, good. I never want to be forced to do something like that. It's like, why are the lights going off? Or worse, the air conditioner. You know, we're in Miami and Florida Plunder and Loot. I think it's actually Florida Power and Light, but what I call them. They want to be able to turn my air conditioner off during peak times. It's like, that's the last thing I want to do. I mean, I pay you for the comfort. Let me be comfortable. But the fact that you can opt in for some of those kind of things is very helpful. Lighting should certainly be among those kinds of things. I'm noticing a lot on your website, there's discussions about universal compatibility. And it kind of makes me wonder, does that mean it's helpful for folks that are do-it-yourselfers? Does that mean it's better for the professional installers or maybe builders of new homes or that sort of thing? Tell me a little bit about this universal compatibility.
Great question. So we, again, have focused on making it absolutely simple. So here's one of our competitors. They have 220 different stock keeping units, meaning devices. So if you have, let's say, a fixture that's an on-off fixture, but you buy their dimmable switch, the light won't go on. Oh, great. So what we mean, it's kind of like a universal remote control. We will work with what you have. So any bulb type, so whether it's halogen or LED or CFL or incandescent, any fixture type, so if it is a dimmable fixture or an on-off fixture, any voice assistant, Google or Alexa, any location, whether you're out of the house, in the house, or you just want to touch the light, and any configuration. So if you have a light switch that just controls one light, or it's called a multi-pole, if you have a light at the top of the stairs and the bottom of the stairs, they have to work together. For the consumer, there's one universal switch, you plug it in, and it just works. For the electrician or for the home builder, there's one switch. So you come out to the consumer to install a new switch, you're guaranteed to satisfy your consumer, as opposed to a truck roll back to the office. Oh, I pulled the wrong switch. So that's a very powerful for the end consumer, again, making it really easy.
And Rob, I love the future compatibility as well, because that makes so much more sense to all of us. You know, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing is affordable, makes sense, and of course has the ability to be upgraded as necessary. And if things are in the cloud, it's a simple matter of a little software update. And maybe we don't even know it, but all of a sudden it's doing something we wanted it to do before that you've been able to accomplish.
Absolutely.
I think that is terrific. Now, can these also work with scheduling? You know, you can dim, you can turn on and off and that sort of thing. Can you set schedules with these smart lighting products as well? You're coming home, you want them on, lights on or off certain times, that kind of thing?
Yes. So one thing my wife asked me to do is in the morning when it's dark, to have the lights just go on at 6 a.m. to a nice dim. So, you know, no one trips going down the stairs. And then the kitchen lights turn on at about 20% of a dim at 6 a.m. So it's a gracious way to wake up, as opposed to you turn on the lights, it's bright. Or in the evening, you can even set your lights for your exterior lights, for example, to go on at about sunset. You can say sunset plus 60 minutes and go off at sunrise. So really automating the use and enjoyment of your lights. The other thing we can do is set scenes. So if you have, you want to set the lights at a certain, for like a dinner party or movie night with one touch, or just say movie night, Alexa, turn on movie night, your lights can then set the mood. And so that enjoyment of light and is now just a click away.
I'm glad you listened to your wife, because it clearly can help many other people. So that's a good sign. How does the Nokia smart lighting dual mesh approach make a difference? What is that, and how does it benefit us as a user?
That's the most important thing, which is Thomas Edison really set the consumer expectation, which is when you switch in 1880, when you switch the light on, it has to go on. A lot of smart lighting, you have this issue of dead zones, like with Wi-Fi dead zones.
Yeah.
So wireless only products, you'll have dead zones. So, the streaming of the video might stop or get a little jagged, or, you have issues with that. The other issue is you have physical barriers within a home. So wood, glass, HVAC, ducting. So being able to penetrate that sort of is the issue with dead zones. The other thing we do is the network can get saturated. So I call it the Thanksgiving effect, when all the family's over and people are booted off the network. With our dual mesh network, we communicate not only wirelessly, but also with the existing wires in the home. So we're sort of the belt and suspenders of smart lighting. So what that means is that when you tell Alexa or Google or your phone to turn on the lights, they will always go on. And we are the only ones in the market that have the dual mesh technology.
I love it. And what a great analogy, the belt and suspenders of the lighting industry. Kudos to you, Rob, and your team for working on that. Now, the most important question before we're completely out of time, what kinds of costs are we talking about? I know that you said you've reduced the expense dramatically. So can you give us an idea from what range to what range if folks are thinking of replacing some switches or dimmers or all of the above?
Well, the ranges are around $39 to $59. But for I think stepping back, it used to cost tens of thousands of dollars to have smart lighting in your home. We can do it for a couple of hundred to a few $100s. So it is a dramatic shift that now everyone can enjoy a high-end, high-quality, incredibly robust smart lighting system for a few $100s.
Love it. Off the air, I'll wrestle your arm to get some for maybe the summer giveaway. We'll talk about that. No pressure now, no commitment. But we invite our audience to visit nokia.smartlabsinc.com. And of course, we'll have the link at intotomorrow.com to get you there. But in the meantime, Nokia, Nokia.smartlabsinc, as one word, INC. .com. Rob, you're a delight to chat with. I like the cool things that you're doing with your products. I'm sure we're going to have you back soon, because I'm sure you're going to have even more things to talk about in your smart lighting products, among other things. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Again, Nokia.smartlabsinc.com for more. Visit us at intotomorrow.com, and you'll have links to Rob and his team and what they're up to, and all of our guests. And of course, be sure to check out the videos if you're not doing so already as we speak. I'm Dave Graveline. Into Tomorrow continues right here on the Advanced Media Network.